cover the fourth quadrant and first quadrant. Cosine is always positive in here. So that's why cosine base is always positive, to get rid of the negative. So the cosine of sine inverse is positive square root of x, 1 minus x squared. See, what we did here is we take square root, right? Yeah, cosine sine inverse squared equals 1 x squared. So how to get cosine sine inverse back? You take square root. So we have plus minus. Because cosine back is positive, you don't want the minus. So you get plus. Right? So at the end, cosine sine inverse x is only a square root of 1 minus x squared. You can come back to that derivative formula and replace cosine sine inverse by square root of 1 minus x squared. The sine inverse derivative equals 1 over square root of 1 minus x squared. Alright, now here's what I always preach to my students, okay? It'd be nice to know how we get the derivative of sine inverse, which is right? We follow these steps, right? We follow these steps, the reasoning behind this. You take square root, plus minus. Why do you want to get rid of the minus? Only keep the plus because of the cosine sine inverse. It's always positive. When sine inverse in the first quadrant, right? Cosine always positive. For that reasoning, we don't want negative, so cosine sine inverse equals positive. And then you plug back in your y prime equals 1 over square root x, 1 minus x squared. So if you follow this routine, how we get the formula, it'd be great, if you understand, right? So that in the future, if you don't quite remember the formula, you can derive on your own, right? Or if you say, you know what, not quite interested in this, how to get this formula to be done, but if your goal is to simply memorize this formula, nothing wrong with it, okay? Because in what follows, you're going to see all kinds of problems that involving the derivative sine inverse. If you can pull off this formula, that's good too, okay? Somehow, if you can memorize sine inverse prime equals 1 over square root of 1 minus x squared, but that's the bottom line, right? It's not really advanced requirement, right? It's more like you have to know something, right? So if you don't, if you kind of you want to stay away from this derivation, at least you must memorize it, okay? So if you understand this process, it will definitely help you memorize this formula, okay? But the bottom line is you got to know this, okay? Remember, come back to Calc 2 next semester. Everything will be back to normal, I guess, which means you have to memorize that. Alright, so in Calc 2, if they ask you, what's the derivative of sine inverse? Oh no, last semester we'll open those open book exams and we can check and have cheat sheet. It's okay, understandable, but remember that's not an excuse, okay? It's on video, okay, recorded, okay? So I'm saying here is you better memorize all the formulas. Alright, and then you'll be ready next semester. You get the Calc 2 and differential equations and Calc 3. Better memorize all the formulas. Over there, next semester, you will not, everything back to normal face to face, you will not have cheat sheet, open over the book, that kind of thing. All right, then if you're not ready, then it can be disastrous, okay, over there. All right, so Calc 2 is really, really difficult. I'm teaching Calc 2 right now. They're struggling, okay? All right, so this is it. So do you have any questions how we get this sine inverse prime equal that? 1 over square root of 1 minus x squared. Good? Okay. Let's since we're similar, right? So let's work on the derivative cosine inverse. What is the derivative? The derivation is very similar. That's why I want to bundle them together, okay? What's the derivative of cosine inverse? Well, the answer is this. Look at this, how close. The derivative sine inverse is 1 over square root of 1 minus square, but the derivative cosine inverse is negative 1 over. It's almost the same, except for negative sign. Don't you need to memorize? So bundle sine inverse, cosine inverse together, right? So it's almost the same with the negative sign. Did I tell you this little secret before? When you differentiate trait function with a cosine in it, a code, you can code that. differentiate that.